Majalaya, a town in the southeastern part of Bandung Regency, is well known for its textile industry. But the development of Cigata Toll Road that stretches from Gede Bage to Majalaya and eventually Tasikmalaya has signified a new direction for the place. Could this place hide unseen gems waiting to be discovered?
In this episode, we'll uncover what Majalaya has to offer. Who knows, maybe you'll put it on your next trip list. See the beauty, only on See Indonesia. See Indonesia.
This yellow bridge is called the Cukang Monteng. It was built 2 years ago and proves to be an important development for Majalaya. Inspired by the Sydney Harbour Bridge in Australia, the bridge connects Majalaya to the neighbouring Garut district. This bridge is built around the Kamojang area. In Kamojang, you can find estuaries that house birds and wild animals. But what draws the most attention is the Kamojang crater. Kamojang crater is a geothermal field and tourist spot on the slopes of Mount Guntur, about 7 kilometers to the west of the peak. The development of geothermal potential in the Kamojang region boasts a long history. There are now 4 operating geothermal generating units with a capacity of 200 megawatts. The 4 are owned and operated by PT Indonesia Power, a subsidiary of the state-owned electricity company PLN. The concession of the field is held by PT Pertamina Geothermal Energy, a subsidiary of another major state-owned company, PT Pertamina. On the lighter side, this crater also attracts visitors with its exotic nature.
You heard that bubbly noise? That's geothermal, baby.
In this area of approximately 10 hectares, there are around 23 geothermal wells, but only 4 are open for visitors to explore. The first is Kawah Manuk, or bird crater. The name comes from the sound the crater makes, which is like a bird chirping, and the fact that this volcanic mud pool is also a part of bird migration route. Next to Kawah Manuk is the Berece crater. I was quite stunned by this one. It's so odd. It looks like a dry lake with a bubbling mud pot. And the smell of sulfur is very strong around the 2 areas. Now I'm heading to this legendary well.
Whoa! That's awesome! So that thing is called the Train Crater. The reason why they name it that way, because just look at that. Look at the steam. It looks, it looks fun. It looks like some old steam engine train. Whoop whoop!
This well was the first to be drilled in 1918 by the Dutch. They used forced labor to drill as deep as 60 meters underground. As the steam from the crater cools down, it condensates and turns into water. Here, the water forms a puddle, almost like a small river under the terrain. Another example of this phenomenon can be seen in the 4th well. And here I am at the final well, called the Rain Crater, so named because it sprays water like rain. crater is famous among visitors because they can experience a natural sauna here. I heard it also offers therapeutic benefits, so I'm definitely going to try it.
Ooh la la. As for the ladies, they use the steam for facial.
I really enjoyed the ambience here, very calming. Let's try to meditate in this natural sauna.
After sauna, I think it's splish and splashy time. Follow me. Just so you know, the water is not cold. It's actually very, very hot. So it's like a really hot shower.
Since I'm around Garut anyway, I decided to stay at a resort that has been around since the 90s called Sampiren. The place is famous for its natural beauty as the 5.5 hectare resort stands above the lake. Expect clean air and cold breeze because this place is surrounded by 4 mountains.
Indonesia.
Located about 22 kilometers southeast of Bandung, Majalaya is one of the most populated districts of Bandung Regency. In the 60s, the district gained a nickname Dollar Town for its textile industry. But that's not why I'm here. I am here in search for something edible that is an icon of Majalaya.
Berondong garing, ider kota pilemburan. Yes, that is actually a song about this traditional snack of Majalaya's people. And now I'm going to take you how this crispy puffed sticky rice is made.
Legend has it, this snack first came to be in the 1920s. Through the hand of Ambu Enit, a villagers of Sangkan, Ibun district. It was never meant to be sold to the wider public, and it was more like a personal snack she invented. In the 60s, the snack grew in popularity and began to be mass-produced. Thanks to Ma Era, who preserved this recipe and turned it into a family business.
This is one of the houses in Ibun village that's still making borondong the traditional way. I heard that this is like the 5th generation and they've been making borondong since the 1960s.
Today they're making a new batch of borondong. It all started here, making the puffy sticky rice. The first step is to cook the sticky rice grain inside this clay pot without oil. Then shake it a little using panicle fashioned like a mini broom to ensure the grain cook evenly. So basically it's like making popcorn. Then come the next step, the winnowing. This is done to separate the puff from the leftover chaff. Once they're clean and sorted out, next comes the fun part, molding the puff. To do this, simply put the puff on a basket, then pour caramelized palm sugar on top of it, then mix it using a kneading motion. So the puff will absorb the sugar and get crushed into tiny bits. Once it's all coated in sugar, it's ready to be molded.
First of all, dibasahin dulu ya Bu ya?
Iya.
Basahin dikit. Oke, terus kayak udah kali diputar.
Diputar, dirojok.
Some double entendre there, but that's the accurate description of the process.
Voila! Yay! My first puff crispy rice.
I spent like 3 minutes making one borondong, but those ladies are fast. Each one of them can make 1,000 borondong per day. They sometimes have their own friendly competition going on. For one batch of borondong, they usually use 30 kilo of sticky rice puff. That can make thousands of borondong.
I thought the process is done here, but apparently it's not. There is one more step that this borondong need to go through. And what is that process, Ibu Ida? Prosesnya apa Ibu namanya itu? Ngeringin. Oh, jadi ini di atas ini tuh ada ini ya? Oh, di bawahnya tuh ada kompor gitu ya berarti ya? Berarti kayak hampir kayak di oven gitu Bu?
The workers here have been doing this for at least 20 years when Merauke still run the place. And to this day, they still make borondong using the traditional method.
Emang borondong itu maunya yang tradisional ya. Bagusnya wanginya masih asri. Dari hasilnya juga banyak yang dari yang tradisional. Rasa sama kuantitas sama dia.
Oh, gitu.
Another variation of borondong is called enten. It's kind of wajit, toffee confection made of palm sugar, coated in sticky rice puff and shaped into bite-sized balls.
This is a two different process. Like in the inside, it needs strength, but this one needs tenderness, which I think I'm pretty good at.
Right.
Okay, let's try this. Enten. Very unique. You've got that puffy crispiness on the outside, then something really delicate and sweet on the inside. It's almost like candy.
Their biggest accomplishment was in 2004 when they entered the Indonesian Records Museum for the biggest borondong ever made. It's a gigantic replica of the iconic Gedung Sate, measuring 2.6 meters long and 2.7 meters tall and weighed about 2 tons. Wow.
Ini melibatkan sekitar 40 orang ya. Dari setiap pengrajin kami satukan di sini membuat borondong. Pembuatan ini sekitar 2 bulan. Borondong ini kami persiapkan di sini dan ini dipajang di Bandung, di pusat kota.
Thanks to borondong, in 2011, Laksana village was listed as a tourist village in Bandung. Cucu, who is a 5th generation of borondong maker, believes that he needs to keep making borondong, not only to continue the legacy, but to preserve the title of the tourist village in the long run.
Terima kasih atas kunjungannya.
See the beauty? Only on See Indonesia.
For coffee connoisseur, Kamojang is known for its coffee variety. Its location near a volcano provides Kamojang with a prime location for a coffee production. As time passes, more coffee shops are opening here. Today, there are more than 20 coffee shops in the area.
In the big city, the idea of a coffee shop may seem like been there, done that. Mas mau fisik sininya satu ya Mas? Ya, makasih. But in Majalaya, this coffee culture actually means more than just that. It brings new hope for farmers and also bring opportunity for young entrepreneurs.
Now I'm taking you to a place where the delicious coffee came from. Wanaka Coffee in Kamojang.
Back then, some farmers in this area, they used to plant vegetables. However, the cost of arable farming is deforestation. In order to conserve the area, they have to plant something more sustainable like coffee. Since coffee became more and more popular in Indonesia, growing coffee became a promising business venture. As this coffee pioneer, Mr. Sudarman.
Mr. Sudarman is one of the coffee grower in the region who now could reap what he had sowed after a long experiment to grow his own coffee. He stands by it, even when others choose to grow vegetables, because in his opinion, coffee is more low maintenance and profitable. After a land conversion in 2010, coffee is now the only crop allowed due to its better water absorption, thus helping with the flood and erosion prevention. The way they are planted also need woody trees like pine to protect them from too much direct sunlight. Coffee only needs around 40% sunlight. Too much of it can cause leaf to fall off and kill the plant. The harvest season for coffee is in August, but every day Sudarman still comes down to his plantation to pick up some leftover cherries. From a total land of 150 hectares, Sudarman used 5 hectares to grow his coffee. Coffee can be harvested once a year. This year, he harvested around 500 kilograms of coffee cherries.
Ini udah panen, udah hampir kelar, tinggal buah sedikit-sedikit, buah ujung namanya ya. Ini cara petiknya seperti begini, petik merah ya namanya. Ini untuk menjaga kualitas rasa dan aroma, tingkat kematangannya atau berwarna merahnya harus betul-betul merata. Nah ini betul-betul udah kematangannya sangat normal sekali karena udah terlihat rata gitu. Iya rata. Rasanya itu manis.
The variety that he grows here is the Usta 762, one of the best Arabica variety that is actually pretty tricky to grow.
Boleh saya jilat tadi nggak?
Boleh, nggak apa-apa. Nggak apa-apa.
Luckily, the plantation meets the geographical criteria needed to grow this variety.
Kopi Kamojang ini tumbuhnya di ketinggian 1.500 sampai 1.600 dan kontur tanahnya pun juga di sini vulkanos.
His coffee is also grown organically, meaning there are no pesticide or fungicide used nor even manure as fertilizer.
The only fertilizer they use is its own leaf that died and decomposed itself around the soil in the coffee field. So it's all very organic.
From the plantation, he took me to his warehouse to see the next step in the coffee processing chain. There are several different processing methods that brings out different taste in coffee. First, there's natural processing, also known as the dry process, meaning leaving the fruit remains on the bean to dry undisturbed. The one he's doing right now is called honey processing. This method stands halfway between washed and naturally processed coffee. Wanaka itself is famed for its fully washed coffee. In the washed coffee, the cherries are stripped off the bean within days of being plucked off the tree. The beans are then washed to remove any sap prior to drying. This will wash off the fruity taste from the bean and make the coffee flavor stronger. The result is a coffee with a cleaner mouthfeel, higher acidity, and more of a coffee taste.
Kopi ini spesiality kemarin kelompok ikut kontes KKSI 2020, ya alhamdulillah mendapatkan juara 1 ya di kategori Pulos.
This specialty coffee triumphed against 500 other coffees from all over Indonesia in the annual competition held by the Association of Indonesian Coffee Exporters last year.
This machine, it separates the green bean from its skin. As you can see, it looks like this. It's not very clean yet, so the process does not end here. This is a clean green bean. You've heard of specialty coffee before, right? So specialty coffee is not just about the variety of the coffee, but then it's the whole process of the coffee, including cleaning the green bean. They're all done by hand. The way I see it, I think Majalaya is heading to an evolution from an industrial region to a city that could become a new tourist destination. Just look around me. Look how raw the nature is. But for now, I'm content with a coffee and a borondong in my hand.